So we have a three-prong approach, and there's three things I want everybody to work on once a day, at least touch it once a day. One, skiing. I like to start with, as we're gathering groups, if they're there early and your groups know what they're doing, be like, okay, go get your 2 runs on mile done on one ski. Left and right ski, make sure they do both skis. And one skiing is great because it's pretty much just sink or swim. You take that ski off and it's either, you learn that balance point without a lot of coaching. There's things we can teach them, and we'll go into that later. The other one is a carving progression. That's what we're going to start with today. And then the other one is our hop turn progression. But all three of those things take practice. You can't just learn them without practice. So every training, and we don't have these kids enough to miss a day here or there doing it. In order to master this stuff, they really need to touch those three things at least once a day. So, and we're going to have the star system that I talked about. And this is the first star in the carving progression, is the act of rolling the ski up on edge, basically just setting the ski on edge, waiting for that ski to start turning and letting that carve build. What you'll notice is everybody wants to start the turn with a slide. So, and the reason this is so critical that we get them to start a turn without sliding is once they can do that, then it's like opens the carving door, because then it's all about edge setting and angles and weight to dictate the shape of that turn. But if you never wait for that ski to carve, they'll never get to the point where they're dictating their turn shape with edge angle and weight. Fore, aft, weight, that's the art of carving. So we're just trying to open the door of carving with this progression here. And the way I like to do this is I didn't bring a ski pole, but I'll set a ski pole. We'll use a snowball. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a straight run with our hands on our knees, and we can practice it here, getting into a nice parallel shins. I want your shoulder width apart. Here, we'll start from the beginning here. So to get in this nice athletic position, I want you to kind of hop up and down. Nice chin and angles, and then jump as high as you can and then just land. This is the position I want you to start in, right? Nice, solid athletic position. I've got weight on my shins. My feet are cocked up. I'm pulling my toes up to the top, engaging the front of my shins here, and parallel shins, shoulder width apart. So if you see kids like this, we're close together, let's separate those feet, shoulder width apart again, nice athletic stance. And then once we're there, whenever we do hands on the knees, I like to be really deliberate with our hands on knees, not just hands on thighs. So I have them look at the nice shape of your palm and say, okay, your kneecap will fit perfect in there, right? So put your kneecaps in that hole in your palms. So that prevents this. And that gets their shoulders over their tips, engages the tips. I mean, what's so cool about this position right here, if they're doing it properly, and all the way down to your palms, to your kneecaps. I mean, it's not too much of an ask to go like this, and I'm Bodie Miller, right? I mean, it's all there. You can't engage those tips if your shoulders are back here and your weight's back here. And hopefully we're not doing this. So we want to engage the obliques, get our shins engaged and our shoulders over the tips. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a straight run in that position. And then all I want you to do is drive that inside knee in and actually push your hand in. For a period of time, I was having the kids push their inside knee in like this. They call it an inverse slopey, which is great. You can get some really good angles like this, but what it's teaching you is to pull your hip flexor in. I don't want that. So when I release, I go back here. So what I want is you to push that inside knee out, push it in. So I'm pushing my hand in with my inside knee so that when I release it, it stays there, right? At least that's what I like to think about. That's pretty advanced. But so the biggest thing with this level in our carving progression is no pivoting into the turn. And there's some tricks to this to get kids to do it that aren't familiar. Actually, we'll go down a little bit down there where it's not quite so steep. But what I'll have them do, if you have these athletes that just have to slide into their turn, what I'll do is say, okay, I want you to make a straight run to the ski pole I have, but I don't want you to turn. All I want you to do is set the edge, roll your edges up, and just go straight like that. And that's like a aha moment for a lot of these kids because, and I'm guessing we'll have a coach here that needs that. I haven't had a coach that didn't. But that'll set in their brain this notion that you need to wait for that ski to start turning, and then it'll start turning, and then it's like, oh, okay. So we'll start down here a little bit flatter. Here, Nicole, can you go down? Actually, we don't need to because I've got that dark spot. You guys can come down.
Where do you want me to go?
You're good. I was thinking of a marker, but there's that little clump of dirt. So Derek, you want to lead? Bring your toes up, shoulders over your tips. And I want you to go straight. See, there's kind of a clump of dirt there and a clump of dirt there, the little grass clumps. I want you to go straight through that, but right as you pass those, I just want you to roll the skis on edge. So just drive that inside knee in, parallel shins, and then just let that ski start carving.
Just go on the edge of the green here.
Well, you're gonna curve left, right, and we're gonna have a carved traverse over to Ben and Joe. Here, I'll demonstrate it. Can you guys all see me? So I'm in my nice athletic stance, and I just do a straight run. And then I just... carving progression.
Nice. Looking good.
Just see a couple.
What?
Can we see a little space either side?
Yeah, whatever. We can make it work. And just roll it up. Yeah. Inside knee, just roll it parallel, inside knee. So you guys pull that inside, both turn on. Really pay attention. You can weight that outside ski if you want, but I don't really care about how tight your carve is. Those of you that initiated with a slide, you know who you are. Just roll it up, and I want you to go straight. I don't want you to turn. I want you to just put your ski on edge. Okay, you did it. You guys are limited though, because see, those skis have very little side cut. So I don't expect you to turn very sharp. Like, don't try to follow our curve. I mean, just even if it takes you all the way to the base of the carpet, just let it carve. Don't. And then if you start feeling the pressure build, maybe you can change your angle, but I just want clean tracks. So you want to show us? We're putting you on the spot. And putting people on the spot, did you see your intensity? That's a good thing to do. You can start right down here. So see the little grass clump? So I want you to just go straight, assume the position, shoulders in front, and then just roll the skis up on edge. And I dare you to try to keep your line straight with your skis rolled on edge. So no tipping, no rotating into the turn. Just roll it up. Yeah, there. It's a really uncomfortable thing if you've never carved, because fine form of skiing, because you're balanced on that thin line now. Where when you're sliding, you can adjust everything. Where when you're edged up and you're racked out on that ski, you're balancing on a tightrope essentially. And that was the uneasiness you saw. She did it good though. That was the start. And that's like opening that door. Who else slid into their turn? Did you? You can come down here. And you don't have an advantage either. These skis don't help, so I'm not expecting a lot of carved shape. I just don't want you to rotate into the turn at all. I just want you to roll it on edge and just make a nice smooth carve, hopefully. But but I want you to just try to go straight. So assume the position, knees parallel. Yeah, and then just practice rolling your knees in, driving that inside knee in. Yep. So I want you to do it that way.
That way?
Yeah, once you go past it, back up here so you have more of a straight line. So come over here. And then just go kind of just to the right of that dirt clump. Go straight until you reach that grass clump and then roll the skis up without sliding. No sliding. Just roll it up, well, it'd be this way. Roll it up like that. Yep. And just hold that. Don't do anything but just roll the ski on edge. Better. I still like to get in that nice athletic stance by jumping up and getting in that landing position where we're like ready for everything. Okay. And engage that tip. Pull those tips of our feet up to our boot. Engage the shins to the boots. We're ready. So now what I want you to do is take your hands, stick them out in front of you. We're going to stand tall this time. And clamp them to your side. This is, I call it the penguin carving drill. So now instead of being down here and we're rolling our knees, what I want you to do, this is going to be our outside. If our circle's like this, the outside of the balloon or the circle is out here. So I want our outside arm to clamp at our side, reach down to our knee. And I want you to feel, so do it on the downhill side. You can't do it on the uphill side. And at the same time, I'd like you to try, again, driving that inside knee in. Do you feel that? So you're doing it, Matt, you're doing it backwards. So clamp our hands. Well, we're gonna be turning uphill.
Okay.
Clamp our hands. I only do that because you always do it on the downhill side when you're on a slope like this, because it's impossible to be at that angle with uphill. So then reach down the hill. So drive that inside knee in, keep these shins parallel. And what I want you to do is, what I don't want the kids to do is bend forward in this one. It's kind of the opposite. So all I'm looking for is this shoulders now. If I had my poles, my shoulders would be parallel with the snow. My hips are parallel with the snow, knees, feet, right? And try not to let any lead happen either. So this time, this is a good one for Cat Tracks Mile Run. All we do is we clamp to the side and we just reach down, assume this position. And the same thing, I don't want any rotation into the turn, no initiating of the turn with a rotation. Just assume this position, see what happens, and do it back and forth. And you guys with like 20-meter skis, these fat skis, don't expect a lot of turn, but don't rotate into it. So I'm just gonna do a straight run, and I'll do it back and forth as I go to the bottom. And you clamp the side.
I'm gonna film.
You're
Nick
definitely
right
got
here.
that ingrained in your, to initiate your turn with a slide.
Okay.
So for you, just don't worry about turn shape. See how straight he's going? Just let it build. He's a ski racer, so he's unfair, but just let that pressure build.
Struggling a lot with keeping my feet.
When everybody, and this is normal,
Yeah,
everybody.
not bad.
And what carving is it's, that one is it's getting our shoulders out over that outside ski.
Dip the left
This one's more
shoulder.
about shoulders.
Now right shoulder. Okay,
I saw the last couple, it
you guys
looked
see
like
that?